Alright, welcome to lesson 10-9. This is, again, we're learning about volume, but this time you're going to learn about volume of pyramids, cones, and spheres. Right, so before you were able to do a rectangular or a triangular prism. Remember that those have two bases, prisms, and a lateral face, right? Two bases, and then the lateral face. A pyramid, remember, only has one base. A cone, remember, only has one circular base. And then a sphere is all points within a given, in all dimensions of a given point, within a certain distance of a given point. So the length of the radius in all directions, right? Okay, so we're going to find the volume of these different figures. To begin with, we're going to do pyramids and cones. So to start by understanding this, I'm going to draw a pyramid. Okay, so one pyramid plus a second pyramid plus a second pyramid, or a third pyramid, sorry. Okay, so these pyramids all have the same lateral face. They have the same length lateral face. I'm just going to put L for lateral, or sorry, not lateral face, slant height. L is standing for the slant height. So remember, finding the surface area of a pyramid, you need the slant height, not just the height. That altogether, these three pyramids add together and equal 1 rectangular prism, where the slant height from these is the same as just the height of the side of this rectangular prism. And then the base, if the base here and all of these is equal, it's equal to this same base over here. Okay, so that's your base, your base area. And your slant height is equal to the height. So we can add these three pyramids equal one rectangular prism. The same is true of a cone. So a pyramid, let's write that out. So three pyramids equal one rectangular prism, and then three cones would equal one cylinder. They would have the same volume if they had the same slant height. And the same base. So if they have the same height and the same base, then, or in the case of the cone or the cylinder, it would be the same radius and then the same height. So you can add up the 3 pyramids would equal 1 rectangular prism, or 3 cones. The volume of 3 cones would equal the volume of 1 cylinder. So essentially, 1 pyramid volume is 1/3 of a rectangular prism's volume. So the volume of a cone or a prism, or sorry, not a prism, a pyramid, cone or pyramid, equals 1/3 the base area times the height. Each one is 1/3 of what the volume would be for a regular rectangular prism or cylinder. Because remember, the volume, we learned in 10-8, the volume of a prism, maybe? The volume of a okay. Well, okay. So the volume of a prism or a cylinder was just the base times the height, the base area times the height. So cone or pyramid is just 1/3 of that. So we're going to go ahead and do practice. This is example 1. We're going to find the volume of a cone. Just think like a traffic cone. We want to know how much space is inside this traffic cone. The height is 10 feet, and the radius is 3 feet. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 the base area times the height. So it's important to remember, what are we going to plug in for our base area? Well, we're talking about our base is a circle, right? So the area of a circle, remember, is pi r squared. So the area of our circle equals pi, and our radius is 3, so 3 squared, that is 9 pi. So we can plug this in the place of our base area. So the volume equals 1/3 times our 9 pi times our height. And your height is, look at where it makes the right angle, 10 feet. So we'll plug in 10. So volume equals 1/3 times 9 pi times 10. 90 times a third is 30, so 30 pi. Plug in 3.14. So volume equals approximately 94 feet cubed. So remember, it's feet times feet times feet. So we're talking about 3 dimensions. Alright, I'm going to have you do a practice. This is example 1B. So you're going to find the volume to the nearest cubic unit of a cone with a height of 5 centimeters and a radius of 2 centimeters on the base. Go ahead and draw it and then find the volume. Pause the video. When you found your answer, hit play. you should have gotten for your answer that the volume equals 21 centimeters cubed. So I'm going to just model that really quickly for you. So you should have drawn your figure. Has a radius of 2 centimeters. Then it has a height of 5 centimeters. We know volume equals 1/3 the base area times the height. So your volume equals 1/3 base area, area of a circle, equals pi r squared. So our r is 2, so pi 2 squared, that's 4 pi. We'll plug that into our base area. So 1/3 times 4 pi times your height of 5 centimeters. So that's 20 times 1/3 times pi. So you should have gotten that the volume equals 21 centimeters cubed. It's not going to let me write. You should have gotten, when you plug that in your calculator, 21 centimeters cubed is your approximate answer. That's the nearest cubic unit. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do another practice. This is example 2 of finding the volume of a pyramid. So I have a pyramid. With my slant height of 10 feet. And then a base of 6, 8. So volume equals 1/3 base times height. Now my base here, oh wait, I need to give you one more piece of information. My base here is a square. Volume equals 1/3 base times height. Well, the base area is going to be s squared, or side squared. It's the area of a square. I know it's a square because if you look here, these two sides are marked congruent. And if they're marked congruent, then I know I have 6 by 6, and that's a square. So 1/3 my side length squared, so 6 squared for my base area, and then my height, I look at my slant height. It's my slant height of 10, so I plug that in. So my volume equals 1/3 6 squared times 10. So 6 squared is 36. Times 10 is 360, and 1/3 of 360 is 120. Sorry. 120. And we're talking about feet here, so this is feet cubed. Right, you're going to do an example. This is example 2b. You're going to find the volume of a pyramid with a side. Ooh. The side of 5 feet by 5 feet and a height 20 feet. Alright, go ahead, pause the video and find your answer. Alright, you should have gotten that your volume equals 166.6 repeating feet cubed. You should have plugged it into the formula volume equals 1/3 base area times height. So you should have gotten volume equals 1/3. It's a pyramid, so we know it has a square base, but sides are 5 feet, so 5 squared would be your area, times your height. They gave you a height of 20 feet, so we'll plug that in, 20, maybe. So 5 squared is 25 times 20 times 1/3. You should have gotten 166.6 repeating. Alright, now we're going to move on to finding the volume of a sphere. So to find the volume of a sphere, slightly different formula. You have a radius, right? The volume formula is, if it has a radius of r, it's 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r cubed is the volume of a sphere. This should go on your list of formulas to memorize. So let's do an example with this, practicing. So if our volume of a sphere, let's write out our formula again, 4/3 pi r cubed. So say we have a snowman. And we want to find the volume of this bottom sphere. And across my snowman is a diameter of 3 feet. My snowman needs some arms. And probably a hat too. Alright. So the diameter of 3 feet, we can find the volume here of this bottom sphere by plugging it into our volume formula, as drawn here. So volume equals 4/3 pi, and we'll plug in r. Did they give us r? Well, they gave us a diameter of 3. Across my snowman measures 3 feet, so my radius was 1/2 that, so my radius equals 1.5. So I'll plug in 1.5, and that's 1.5 cubed. So my volume equals, simplify, 4/3 times pi times 1.5 cubed. That is 4.5 pi then. Let's plug in 3.14 for pi. So our volume equals about 14, let's do its feet, so it's feet cubed. Volume is always going to have the cubed at the end. Okay, I want you to go ahead, do another example here. This would be example 3. So I want you to find the volume of the sphere to the nearest whole number, and using 3.14 for pi. So if you have a radius, find the volume of this sphere with a radius of 15 meters. Pause the video, hit play when you're ready to see the answer. Alright, you should have gotten that your volume equals 14,130 meters cubed. You should have plugged it into the formula volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. You would have simply plugged in your radius of 15 meters. And you would have gotten volume equals 4/3 pi 15 cubed, which equals 14,130 meters cubed. Alright, so that's the end of this lesson. You're going to do some in-class practice now. So your practice problems include, you're on page 550 in your textbook. You're going to do numbers 1 through 5, number 11, and number 13. Okay, your homework is your practice book 10-9. That's in your workbook. Alright, you can get started on your in-class assignment now.